Good evening. Think about it using common sense. Today is Saturday, totally an unusual day. But yesterday, so much happened in the news, and it's such a demand for common sense when it seems to be such a lacking of it. Yesterday, Steve Bannon was found guilty on 2 counts. Each count, from what I understand, has a maximum of 1 year jail time. Um, I think for not honoring subpoenas, and I think it may have something to do with uh, withholding information, something like that. But anyway, he was found guilty on both charges. And it was a good thing because people have to realize that laws are there for a reason to be obeyed. And no one should be above the law, regardless of your financial status, regardless of your political status. Uh, but it seems as though uh, President Trump, ex, or just let's say Trump, uh, seems to be defying all avenues when it comes to having to obey the law. But I guess that comes with having the enough money to pay lawyers to uh, keep putting dates off and keeping you out of the courts. But this committee, January 6th committee, have put forth evidence that showed uh, Donald Trump uh, was in charge of the whole thing. And not only that, and it shows the depth of and the links to what he went through or what was being done for him to overthrow our government, to stage a coup that I don't think people realize how close we came to losing our democracy, our freedom, our country. And it still boggles my mind to this day how politicians, the Republicans, can turn their back on our Constitution. And not only that, if they're a believer in God, they to put their hands on a book and took an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States and serve the American people, and they lied. They lied. Then they even showed Holly throwing up a fist of power, instigating the riot, but yet he was running in the Capitol in fear of his own life. Now, this isn't what someone is telling us, people. This is stuff that's being presented and shown to all Americans, I guess, part of the world, I guess, what really happened here. And we still have politicians in this country, in our government, in denial, still in support of President Trump when there is uh, information that the that his vice president, his life was in danger, among other people. I don't understand. And if these people, not if, with this type of behavior, it is obvious that these politicians have sold the American people out. And it's also that the American people, regardless how you feel, that you can have so much hate in you against people, or you're so mentally weak that you can be led to do things that just doesn't even make sense. It's like you're being led to to do things that are detrimental to you, your family, the country, our freedom. For what? And based on what's happening, uh, when it comes down to, I guess, the FBI, the Homeland Security, and the Secret Service have rounded up a lot of these protesters who was involved in the January 6th insurrection on the Capitol. Uh, they realized they was out there on a limb by themselves, and they're singing a different tune. Because when people realize before it's too late, it was almost too late. And a lot of people that came up at the last minute, Republicans, I don't think it was necessary that they was gun ho in doing what they did, because if that was the case, it would have never gotten as far as it did. They would have stopped it a long time ago. So they was on the train. They was riding the train, but when it got ready to come to the final stop, uh, they just refused to get off or got off. But this should have never happened in this country. This is America, and this is a stain on this country that uh, I doubt would ever be removed. And as soon as people realize that it's not about uh, racism, blacks and whites, it's about the rich and the poor, the haves and the have-nots. That's what it boils down to. But you can't think, you can't organize, you can't do things for yourself when you're fighting amongst yourselves. Simple as that. People need to take some time out and really start figuring this thing out, because this is a real situation. This is very, very real. Global warming is real. This country is dying. Humans are under such pressure now. I mean, we have viruses on top of viruses. The corona is never going away. There's another corona coming in on top of this corona. And the corona that's coming in on top of this one, the vaccines will not be effective. And now I heard polio. That's a case of polio. Uh, I think was in New York. Crippling. That's coming back. The human body, the human nervous system is breaking down. All these viruses, all this stuff has always been here. They're here. But if your immune system is weak, you open your defense system is weak, you're opening yourself up to be vulnerable to anything, any and everything that's out here. And it's coming. Who do we owe this to? The human body, sugar. Sugar is the number one destroyer of your immune system. Nobody cared about that. Sugar's in everything. Why? Because they're more concerned with making a dollar than protecting the American people. Companies making billions and billions of dollars, profit, mind you, because they're more concerned with making money than serving the American people and serving our planet, doing what's best for our planet. So we have no one to blame but ourselves for this. I hear a lot of people were talking about the book of Revelations. This is they talking about, well, what's happening now is being manifest uh, uh, of the book of Revelations, and it very well could be. Very well could be. We have record breaking temperatures over in Europe like they never had before. They didn't even have air conditioning in Europe. Excuse me. They didn't have air conditioning in Europe, and they're having uh, record breaking temperatures, 100 degrees or more. In this country, record breaking temperatures, droughts, lack of fresh water, farmlands drying up, can't feed the cattle, chickens. This is serious. And not only that, they're talking about uh, uh, jobs. There's not going to be any jobs. The majority of the jobs that I hear them talking about is jobs, tech jobs. Farmers, they can't grow food. Like they saying now they're going to sell. Excuse me. They saying now beef prices may be uh, lower now because they're going to have to sell the beef off uh, because they can't feed them in the summertime now because they're having a shortage of grain. But come winter, a hamburger might cost you $15. And even with these gas prices, and they talk about inflation. I mean, some things inflation, yes, but these gas prices, yeah, I have to think about that. I don't know if gas prices was there a shortage of gas, or could it be that because I mean, when you think about it, it's all about that almighty dollar. So with all these electric cars coming out, so to push you over to electric car, the price of gas needs to go up. I don't know. I mean, I'm just using common sense. I'm not just sitting down taking everything on face value when you look at that January 6th committee and the information that's being brought forth that was hidden. What can you believe? What can you believe? It even goes in it, even the Supreme Court justices. You know, uh, uh, this stuff is coming out about a justice's wife, a Trump supporter, big time Trump supporter, and then the judge voting on uh, 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 stuff that Republicans, Trump stuff that they put out, and he don't recuse himself. This whole mess is messed up. And then on top of that, yesterday I'm hearing, how can the Secret Service misplace text messages on the fifth for the 5th and 6th January during the insurrection on the Capitol? I mean, come on, man. I'm feeling like this country, we've been played. I've always wondered, I've always said to myself, how is it, and this just isn't Trump per se, how is it that someone can become president of the United States? Now I'm going to use Trump because he had no political background, none. They elect him as president of the United States, the most powerful seat in the world now. And all of a sudden, he's making life and death decisions that he know nothing about. Just because you become president of the United States, you automatically become knowledgeable about everything. Uh-uh. It doesn't work like that. You don't automatically just get smart. And they say, well, we need the president to sign off on this, the president to sign off on that. How can you sign off on something that you don't even know anything about? Hello? Common sense. People don't use common sense anymore. It's gone. And the lack of it is devastating. Devastating. You don't even have common sense when it comes to taking care and looking out for yourselves. Surgeon General had to tell you cigarette smoking is hazardous to your health. Now, whether you smoke or not, that's your choice. It's your choice. Well, common sense gonna tell me it's bad for me. I don't need someone to tell me to inhale and smoke into my lungs, getting into my blood, going all over my body, cause all kinds of problems, kinds of health problems. This money. Sugar is more addictive than cocaine. but it makes you eat things. You're junkies, you're sugar junkies. You know? All these things goes into what's called capitalism. America is a business, and it's time for people to realize that. It's a business. It's all it is. And it's a business owned by the rich, okay, but gives you an opportunity to make money within the system. Whereas a lot of countries just don't even do that. A lot of countries don't even have enough wealth for people to even make anything, to make a living. But you can do that here. But let's not lose sight of who owns and who controls and who will always own and always control everything. Not lose sight of that. But at the same time, you can have some say so to a degree. You have to participate. You can make money. You can be a part of it. You understand? But don't be played till you become a victim. You don't have to become a victim, but you will become a victim if you don't pull yourself up by your bootstrap and stop waiting for somebody else to do it because it will not get done. This is 2022. Black America is on the bottom, and the bottom is the bottom. You know, I heard some today about some type of summit that's going on, but a summit of all the talking, we talking with all these rich people getting together with a summit. Get together with this summit and put $2 or $3 billion in this bank and spread it out in the black neighborhoods or in poor neighborhoods, period, so people can get a grip, can really start doing something, building some apartment complexes and units that they own with a reasonable mortgage, a reasonable uh, means of sustaining themselves, teach them business, put some businesses in their neighborhood so they can live. Enough with the meetings already. Enough with the, we already know that. Put money on the table. That's what it takes in a capitalistic society, in a system. Do something that's not being done. Education. You want some prison, you want to change the prison system, then build some prison because these prisons are privately owned. Build some. Build some prisons that's equipped the way you want them to be equipped. And stop with the meetings. And let's get some serious stuff done. You got all these millions and billions of dollars. What you doing with them? You can't take it with. So what are you doing? Just making billions and putting on top of billions on top of billions, and you got your own people out here starving. You don't even have places to live. And if people, black people and whites and people before got together and marched and protested and fought and died for us to be able to be in a position to do things, you know what? It wouldn't happen. And that's what's part of the problem up until this day. We've been living and trying to get the approval of people when we need to take control of our lives, take control of our families, take control of our children. See to it that they're educated, see to it that they're in these programs, make them do it. And I realize there are going to be some that's lost, but these that's coming on now should not be lost. And these parents have got to be held accountable. And they have got, and these parents have got to be have a chance. They a lot of people want to do, but they don't know how to do. They don't have money to do. All these billionaires I had throw some money in a $1 billion banks, some type of fund, and just come in and start doing building. Got the same developers come in and develop everything. Take the neighborhoods, you got nothing. That's all. And it's not about talk about taking anything. It's just working and helping build a better America. Pay attention to your election. Pay attention to these people that's running for office. Pay attention. If they say they're going to do something, if they run on a platform and say they're going to do X, Y, and Z, then you vote for them for that. Then you make sure that's what they do. If they don't do X, Y, and Z, then vote them out of office. But then I'm looking too at a lot of these politicians in these states, and they come out there with all this hypocrisy and the racism and this, and they come out of these states and they keep getting voted in. Then that's what these states, these people vote these people in. So these racist people, politicians, they're representing their state. They're representing their state. Let's not forget that. They dancing to the tune of the people in their state. So it boggles my mind. And the people in these states don't realize that at the end of the day, they're in the same boat. They might dance with them politicians, but them politicians don't associate with them. You ain't got enough money to hang with them. They let you think they with you. They are until they get in there and start getting that money. There's a different thing. And I don't know when people are going to wake up. We can live in a world of love and peace, but we've never had it. Think about it. We have never had it. Something's wrong with this. Where's all the preachers? Where's all the Christians? Where are they? I don't hear them out here anywhere. And you can't let the government get into people's lives. Can't do that. What make anybody think that people have to dance to your ideas when it comes to your body, come to your life, come to your family, come to what's in your home, the decisions you make with your body? You can't come up and do that. Whatever they do, that's between them and their body and them and their God. Because God done laid it out on the platform. He said, so you sow, so shall you reap. He done laid all that out for you. You can't sit here and say have some little kid suffering because of what someone has did to them, and you're gonna tell them what they can't do to their bodies to help them. It's terrible. This is terrible. And we need to start using some common sense behind this thing. We need to start holding these politicians accountable. We need to start putting some limits on them. Seriously. Because when you start putting limits on them, then you take some of that power out of their hands. They done sold American people out to big business. These corporations own everything. All the mom and pop stores gone. No, nothing. Gone. Everything's gone. Roe versus Wade, gone. Big corporations got all the farms. Go to one store now, you buy everything. Yeah, no, nothing, you know, say so. None, none. All these apartments. Oh my goodness, apartments. 400 and 500, 800, 900 in a building. Buildings all over everywhere. You know, people need to. You need to conserve. You need to conserve. We're losing the neighborhoods. No more neighborhoods in the inner cities. Neighborhoods is falling by the wayside, big time, big time. And all these tall buildings is not helping the environment at all. People don't seem to care. You don't seem to care what you're eating. And don't forget, when people making millions and billions of dollars in profit, that means a lot of people are getting overcharged. Think about it. Just think about just take some time to sit down, get away from the TV. You know what I mean? Put down that put down that ice cream. Put down that cell phone or something. Just think. I'm not even gonna tell you to pick up a book right now. That's gonna come later, but just think. Because the hardest thing in the world to do is to get yourself away from that TV, uh, get yourself away from from eating all that fast food junk to the cell phone. And the hardest thing to do is pick up a book because these things have not or not in your life, so to speak. It's so much of a habit doing other things. It's like an effort. It's a major effort to just sit down and do nothing. To sit down and think. It's a major effort. And to read a book, oh my goodness, that's really hard because that requires you to think, to visualize. Probably don't even know how to read. See, reading is more to reading than just calling words. We have nerve centers. We have nerve centers, imagination to develop, the picture. As we read, you can picture things, imaging process in the mind. But if you don't lose it, I mean, not excuse me, if you don't use it, you lose it. And this is what's happening. This is what has happened to a generation and generations before these generations. Because we haven't really focused on it. We've been trying to live up or be accepted instead of making ourselves, making a statement, uh, making ourselves who we're supposed to be, putting our values where our values are supposed to be on education, on our children, family, on economics. Yes. And on religion. But these preachers have let us down. Oh, they ain't about nothing but money. Money. I know preachers been married, divorced 5 or 6 times. If two preachers can't get married and be together, then what does that say about marriage in itself? What's that say? Telling you, the hypocrisy is deep. God said, many are called, but few are chosen. I don't even know if any are chosen today. Not a few, if any chosen. All riding around in the jet plane. All riding around with the diamonds and the golds and the mansions. You know, remember God when Jesus came into the marketplace, he turned over the table. He said, "Religion ain't about no money. It ain't about money." That's right. He said that it's easier. And listen to what I'm getting ready to say. He says easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Do I need to repeat that? And I'm serious. You know why? Because you don't get that money. You don't get them millions and them billions by being truthful and honest. Don't get it. Don't come like that. That's why he said. And people don't realize it. See, people don't take anything. People don't take, and the thing about it is, people don't take anything serious until it happens. An atheist, so I heard this the other day. An atheist don't believe in God until something happened to him tragically, and then the first thing he hollered, "Oh God, help me!" You understand? We have created this world that we live in. We have no one to blame but ourselves. You know, when Donald Trump ran for president, uh, I didn't think he was going to win. But when he did win, I said, Donald Trump was a businessman. I said, maybe he knows. He feels the pain of the people. Maybe he can get out here and really do something. He can really get out here and do something to help the American people. That's what I thought about Donald Trump when he first won president. But you know what? Leopard don't change his stripes. That's who Donald Trump was. Everybody know what he was. Everybody knew what Donald Trump was before he came in office. Because a lot of people just like me, they didn't believe he was going to win. He wasn't even qualified. But Donald was smart. Donald played on the people. Donald knew who the people were out there. He knew how to manipulate them. Very good at it. And he did it. But he was Donald Trump. It went to his head. Went to his head. But nobody still don't know. Nobody don't know what he did. Nobody don't know the extent of what Trump did. But at this point, it doesn't even, you know what? It doesn't even matter because what has been laid and what has been manifested to us through the January 6th committee, what we've seen. If people can't see, draw a conclusion, what these Republicans, what these GOP people are doing, how they're acting, if the American people can't see that, you know what? They're just deaf, dumb, and blind. Because right now, you don't see where you are when it comes to them. You don't count. If we don't start doing something, taking care of our planet, taking care of our neighborhoods, it's not going to happen. If you don't start taking care of yourself, start educating, see to it that your children get educated, see to start putting some money into these schools. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. This happened to me. I had an insurance. I'm not even gonna call the insurance company's name because what I did, I turned it over to a lawyer. The lawyer told me they couldn't even do anything. They sent it back to me. But when they came out with when coronavirus first came out, okay, and they said that people, seniors, was at risk more so than anyone else. My insurance company canceled my policy. That's all I'm gonna say. Canceled it, and didn't have to cancel it. Canceled it, and I'm sure I'm not the only one they did it to. That's but it's just I'm just saying nobody cares. That's my point. That's my point. Nobody cares. Everybody wants to make a dollar. Everybody wants something for nothing. Everybody wants the most they get for the least amount of effort. And look around you, you see what we have here. We have an earth that is dying. We have a human race that is dying, that's infested with viruses. We're suffering from inflation, crime written. People are stressed out. If you bump into anybody, they're subject to pull a gun and start shooting. And yet, everybody's walking around with guns on their hips. And they don't know why there's an increase in violent crimes. It's a joke. It's time. It's time for people to call it like it is, put the blame where it is. And it's a major problem when we have 10, 11, 12-year olds killing, beating people to death. You understand? Think about that. Beating people to death. Young people ambushing, and on top of buildings, ambushing people and killing them. Young people coming across lines so full of hate, just massacring people. Got this children killing their mothers, grandmothers. This is sick, man. And people would be more outraged, except we are and have been desensitized with all the violence on television. The violence, the sex on television. Don't sit up here and tell me, oh no, it doesn't. It does. Everything does. You're a product of your environment. And people need to do more. Everything needs to be rationed. Ration television to your children. I heard a lady, an actress. She did one of these horror films, one of these violent movies, and she was on a TV show, and the host asked her. She said, "Well, how do your children uh, uh, like it when you act in these type of movies?" She didn't hesitate to say, "Oh, my children don't watch that mess." That's what she said. Now, she's an actress. But it's okay for your children to watch that mess. But she don't allow her children to watch that mess. Same thing with my uh, I have a sister-in-law that's a school teacher in the public schools. Well, she don't allow her children to go to the public school. Her children went to a private school. Wake up, people. Start using common sense. It's up to you to make sure you get these qualified teachers, instructors, into the schools. Don't just allow someone else to come in and say, oh, well, we're going to do this, we do this, we do this. They don't really care. You got to have hands on everything. And there's no more time. Out of time. I'm here to tell you, out of time. This planet, the way this planet is heating up right now, 2050 would be a miracle. I'm telling you. And where are the people going? Where are the inner city people going that's unemployed, that doesn't have an income, that doesn't own anything? Where are they going? You're getting out of the city. But these people are not putting all these millions and billions of dollars into the city and redeveloping, repaving, and redoing this. But no, use some common sense. You better. So I just had to come out today. Today's Saturday. I had all this stuff built up in me, and it's time to get things done. And as far as when it comes back to Steve Bannon, something has to be shown to these people that government, that the law means something, that no one is above the law. And the only way you do that is start finding these people guilty and start locking them up. Bottom line, man. Bottom line. I don't care. I mean, everybody. No, everybody is important. Regardless, you might have more money. The only thing that makes you more important than another person is what you have, what you contribute to humanity. Not just the fact that I'm blood, you blood. No, no. Make yourself valuable. You want a job? Make yourself valuable. Be a living example of the religion, of your religion and what you believe in. These preachers out here now with a bunch of hypocrites. And they sit up in here and you go to church and put your money in church every Sunday or however often you want to do it. And that's your business. That's your business if you want to do that. But a church, God said your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. But a church, a building, is where people congregate to talk about their problems, to talk about things that's happening that's affecting everyone's lives, and to make it better. Not just to put money in the pocket of somebody just up there preaching. That's your fault. So anyway, thank you so much for taking the time out to listen, and thank you again.